And once again, welcome back to our series of lecture on control system. And in the last lecture, we discussed in detail about the theoretical aspect of signal flow graph, where we discussed some basic terms which are commonly used in order to understand the meaning of signal flow graph, where we discussed the concept of node, then we discussed the concept of gain, how to calculate the gain of forward path, how to calculate the gain of loop. Then we learn the concept of individual loop, then pair of two non-touching loop and three non-touching loop. So in this session or in this lecture, we are going to discuss few more points related to signal flow graph, where we are in a position to convert a given block diagram into its equivalent signal flow graph. Then we are going to learn in detail about the concept of Mason's gain formula. And if possible, we are also going to solve one numerical on Mason's gain formula. That means the signal flow graph is available with us, and our objective is to obtain the overall transfer function of that particular graph. So let us start our session. So the first topic is how to convert block diagram into signal flow graph. That means if a block diagram is known to us or available with us, and suppose if you're interested to represent that block diagram into corresponding signal flow graph, then how to represent that, or how to convert a given block diagram into signal flow graph. Now, in the previous lectures, we discussed in detail about the concept of block diagram, and we know that if you have a block diagram of a given control system, then with the help of block diagram reduction technique, we are in a position to obtain its equivalent, or you can say overall gain or overall transfer function of that particular system. But suppose if the numerical is framed in such a way that the block diagram is given to you, and in the problem statement it is mentioned that obtain the overall transfer function, or you can say obtain the overall gain of a given control system using Mason's gain formula. Then in that case, because Mason's gain formula is applicable to only signal flow graph, then in that case it is your responsibility to convert first the given block diagram into corresponding equivalent signal flow graph, and then apply that formula to obtain its overall gain, or you can say overall transfer function. So how to convert block diagram into signal flow graph? So there are some simple steps which we need to implement one by one in order to convert a given block diagram into signal flow graph. So what are those steps? Let us discuss them one by one. First step is identify the signals, variables, summing points and takeoff points available in a given block diagram. So first step is we need to identify how many number of summing points or how many number of takeoff points are available in a given block diagram, followed by different types of signals and variables. So this is our first step. We need to identify कि कितने number of summing points available है, कितने number of takeoff points available है, कितने टाइप के अलग अलग सिग्नल्स और वेरिएबल्स आपके गिवन ब्लॉक डायग्राम में अवेलेबल है, उन्हें हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा. Then in step number 2, we need to represent each of them by a separate node in signal flow graph. So in step number 2, what we need to do? We need to represent each and every summing point or takeoff point, or you can say signal or a variable which are available in a block diagram with a separate node. It may be input node, it may be output node, or it may be intermediate node. That depends upon the position of the summing point, takeoff point, or you can say variable in a given block diagram. But ultimately, whatever the signals or variables, or you can say summing point or takeoff points are available in that block diagram, we need to represent each of them by a separate individual node. This will be your step number 2. Then in step number 3, what we need to do? We need to represent the blocks in block diagram with a corresponding branch in signal flow graph. As we know that if you have a block diagram of any control system, then that block diagram, each and every component of a physical system is represented by some blocks. So in step number 3, what we need to do? We need to represent each and every blocks available in a block diagram by their equivalent branch in signal flow graph. तो जहां जहां पर आपको ब्लॉक दिख रहा है उसके अगेंस्ट में आपको एक ब्रांच जो है वो इंडिकेट करना पड़ेगा between those two what we can say nodes in signal flow graph. Then last step or step number 4 is we need to represent the transfer function of each block via gain of respective branch in signal flow graph. So in step number 4, what we need to do? We need to represent the transfer function of each block corresponding to the branch gain in signal flow graph. For example, अगर आपके पास में एक ब्लॉक है और उसके अंदर में कैपिटल G इंडिकेट किया है, तो कैपिटल G इंडिकेट करेगा उस पर्टिकुलर ब्लॉक का गेन, तो उसको अब हम रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रांच से, और वो ब्रांच का जो गेन रहेगा वो एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू कैपिटल G बन जाएगा. So this will be your step number 4. So these are the simple steps which we need to follow in order to convert a given block diagram.
Excuse me, sir.
Corresponding signal flow graph. Are you getting my point?
Excuse me,
Sir,
sir.
your screen is not visible.
Okay, wait for a minute. Yeah, I forgot to start screen sharing. I think now the screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. So these are the points which I discussed right now with you. So on the screen here that in order to convert the block diagram into corresponding signal flow graph, we need to follow these steps one by one. So step number 1 is we need to identify signals, variables, summing point and takeoff point available in a given block diagram. Then in step number 2, we need to represent each of them by a separate node. It may be input node, it may be output node, corresponding to the physical availability of signal, or you can say summing point or takeoff point in a given block diagram. Then in step number 3, we need to represent blocks in block diagram corresponding to a branch in signal flow graph. कहने का मतलब है कि जहां पर आपके ब्लॉक्स रहेंगे ब्लॉक डायग्राम में, उसको हम लोग रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे ब्रांच से इन सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ. देन इन स्टेप नंबर 4, we need to represent the transfer function of each block via equivalent branch gain. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
So I want you to please note down these steps to convert block diagram into signal flow graph. Step number 1 is we need to identify signals, variables, then step number 3, represent the blocks in block diagram corresponding to branch in signal flow graph. That means जहां पर block है उसको आपको represent करना पड़ेगा branch से. And then last step is represent the transfer function of each block via gain of respective branch in signal flow graph. Are you done with this? लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try to solve one numerical on converting a block diagram into corresponding signal flow graph. So the statement is obtain, or you can say draw the signal flow graph of a block diagram represented by the following figure. And the figure is something like this. So this is the block diagram of a control system which is given to us, and our objective is to draw its corresponding signal flow graph. To see this diagram very carefully, here we are having reference input signal R of S, controlled output signal Y of S, then we are having gain G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, and then feedback path gain H1, H2, H3, and these are some summing point 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are some takeoff point. This is first takeoff point, this is second takeoff point, and this will be third, and this will be the fourth takeoff point. So in step number 1, we need to identify how many number of summing points, how many number of takeoff points, how many number of signals are available or variables are available in a given signal flow or given block diagram. Let me check, is there any waiting for this meeting? No. Okay. Yes, please continue. So what will be the step number 1? Yes. What will be the step number 1 for this numerical? We need to identify the number of summing point, takeoff point, variables and signals available in given block diagram. बरोबर है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us try to identify कितने number of summing points है. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are having 4 summing point. Then identify how many number of takeoff points are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 summing points and 4 takeoff point. That means 4 plus 4, 8 to node corresponding signal flow graph में रहेंगे. Apart from this, we are having this R of S as your reference input signal and Y of S is the controlled output signal. And then along with this, you may have some intermediate variables or you can say signals in this block diagram. For example, if you see in between this block gain and this block gain, that means in between G1 and G2, we are having one what we can say signal or intermediate output. So let us consider that this may be indicated by some symbol. It may be Y3 or Y4, I don't know, but you need to represent them by some notation. So I hope you draw this figure. Draw कर लिया आपने diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So write down step number 1. Step number 1 will be identify the signals, variables, summing point and takeoff point in given block diagram. This will be your first step. Identify the signals, variables, summing points and takeoff points in block diagram. So once you have identified, name them. उनको आपको नाम देना है. For example, this is your R of S. By default, it is nothing but the main excitation or reference input signal. इसके अलावा this summing point is indicated by node indicated by symbol Y1. Then this summing point is indicated by symbol Y2. Then in between these two blocks, we are having another intermediate signal indicated by symbol Y3. Then this takeoff point is indicated by symbol Y4. And this summing point is indicated by Y5. Then this takeoff point is indicated by Y6. Summing point is indicated by Y7. And this takeoff point is by Y8. In the same way, this takeoff point is indicated by symbol Y9. And finally, at the end, we are having controlled output indicated by symbol Y of S. So these number of takeoff point, summing point or intermediate variables are available in a given block diagram, and we have indicated them by some nomenclatures. So Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5 up to Y9 indicate various summing points or takeoff points available in given block diagram. It is not at all necessary कि आपने symbol Y से ही indicate करना है. You may prefer X1, X2 or ABCD. So it totally depends upon to, or simply you can name as 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. समझ में आ रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
The thing is that we need to represent, we need to identify and represent them by a separate node, and while indicating or while drawing node corresponding to each summing point, takeoff point or variable, we need to assign some name. That's why I have used this symbol Y1, Y2 and Y9. So step number 2, represent each of the signal, variable, summing point, takeoff point by a separate node in signal flow graph. So what I have done in step number 2 or after step number 2, I represent each of the summing point, takeoff point or intermediate variable by a separate node. So this indicate your first reference input node R of S, then this indicate Y1, this indicate Y2, so on up to Ys. And the sequence is the same which is mentioned in the given block diagram. So first of all, we are having R of S on the extreme left hand side. So the same node is mentioned over here. Then on the extreme right hand side, we are having Y of S as the control output. The same notation is mentioned over here. And we need to indicate each and every summing point and takeoff point followed by intermediate signal corresponding to a separate node. So Y1, Y2, Y3, so on up to Ys. Indicate कर लिया आप लोगों ने? And remember one thing, यहाँ पर आपको थोड़ा सा gap mention करना पड़ेगा, because अभी in between these two nodes or these two nodes, we need to draw a branch, we need to indicate a gain. So definitely इनको आपने बहुत close नहीं indicate करना है. You need to have some finite distance in between them, so we can easily indicate a branch and a gain and a flow of signal in between any two of the node. सो एटलीस्ट उतना तो भी आपने गैप इन दोनों नोड्स में मेंटेन करना है। समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, in step number 3, what we need to do, we need to represent blocks in block diagram with a branch in signal flow graph. तो जहां जहां पर भी आपको ब्लॉक्स दिख रहा है, अब उसके अगेंस्ट में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, ब्रांच ड्रॉ करेंगे और वो ब्रांच में सिग्नल का भी फ्लो इंडिकेट करेंगे कि सिग्नल का फ्लो किस तरीके से हो रहा है. What is the meaning of this? See here. For example, if you see the first reference input node, which is nothing but R of S, and a signal, or you can say summing point indicated by symbol Y1. So this reference input signal is straight away coming as an input to your summing point. That means this R of S and Y1, they need to be indicated by a branch of gain exactly equal to 1. Because ये R of S directly यहाँ पे आ रहा है without having any gain in between this R of S and summing point Y1. So definitely we need to join the node corresponding to R of S and Y1 by a branch indicating a gain exactly equal to 1. So वो हम लोग बाद में indicate करेंगे, but अभी तो इतना गारंटी है कि R of S और Y1 को डायरेक्टली हमें ज्वाइन करना पड़ेगा by a branch in which the flow of signal is from input to output. So here input is R of S and intermediate output is nothing but Y1. So here we need to draw a branch in which a flow of signal is from R of S to Y1. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, if you see this Y1 and Y2, these are nothing but two summing points. So in between them, we don't have any, what we can say, block. So definitely we need to join these two node, that means node corresponding to Y1 and Y2 by a branch in which the flow of signal is from Y1 to Y2. In the same way, from Y2 and Y3, we need to draw a branch in which the flow of signal is from Y2 to Y3 and the gain will be exactly equal to G1. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the same logic you need to implement. So in step number 3, first of all, we need to represent each and every block by a individual branch and in which we need to indicate the flow of signal. So the flow of signal we need to maintain as it is indicated in the block diagram. So if you see this particular path here, the flow of signal is from input to output. But in some cases where we have taken a takeoff point, then in that case, the flow of signal is from output to input. For example, if you try to draw a branch between node Y4 and Y2, that means node Y4, this one, and Y2. So if you see this block diagram very carefully, here we are having a feedback signal starting from takeoff point Y4, ending at summing point Y2 in this particular direction. So if you draw a branch between Y4 and Y2, so we need to draw a branch like this, and in which the flow of signal is from Y4 to Y2. Why the flow is from Y4 to Y2? Because if you see this block diagram, here the signal flow is from Y4 to Y2. That means from takeoff point to summing point. So the same, what we can say, signal flow we need to maintain or we need to represent in the corresponding signal flow graph. समझ में आ रहा है क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
So the same logic you need to implement. For example, if you see this node Y6 and Y8, so if you see this particular path, here we are having a parallel path. It is not a feedback path, but it is a parallel path, because if you see the direction of flow of signal, it is from input to output. So for this particular structure, input is Y6 and output is Y8. So when you are trying to represent this particular branch or this particular, what we can say, block by a corresponding branch, so we need to draw a branch starting from Y6 ending at Y8 with the direction of flow of signal is from Y6 to Y8, and the gain of that signal is exactly equal to plus G4, or simply you can write G4. So if you apply this logic after step number 3, you will have this type of structure. So I want you to please draw this structure and verify with your block diagram whether you are getting this structure or not. So in step number 3, what we have to do, we need to represent every block available in block gain, or you can say available in block diagram corresponding to the branch in signal flow graph. तो जहां जहां पर आपके पास में ब्लॉक्स है, उन सभी को हमने अभी एक ब्रांच से रिप्लेस किया है in case of signal flow graph. The structure is something like this. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So I want you to please draw this structure. And then in step number 4, what we need to do? We need to represent the transfer function of each block via gain of respective branch. So the modified structure is something like this. So this indicate the gain of this particular branch. That means R of S and Y1, they are directly connected to each other. That means we need to connect them by a branch of gain exactly equal to 1. In the same way, the two summing point, that means Y1 and Y2, I think they are directly connected with each other. So here we need to connect them by a branch of gain exactly equal to 1. In the same way, if you see y2 and y3, so here y2 is summing point and y3 is a point, or you can say is a intermediate signal between block gain g1 and g2. So these 2 points are connected by a gain exactly equal to g1 branch. In the same way, if you see this feedback path, that means from this takeoff point and reaching at this summing point, so it is from y4 to y2 with a gain exactly equal to minus h1. Why it is minus h1? Because if you see the block diagram, the nature of feedback signal is negative. That's why we need to take this minus h1. If you see this diagram, see here, the nature of feedback signal is minus, negative. That's why we need to take minus h1. Here again, we need to take minus h3. Here we need to take plus h2 because the nature of feedback signal is positive. तो जैसा आपके ब्लॉक डायग्राम में गिवन है, एज इट इज वैसा का वैसा ही आपने यहाँ पर रिप्रेजेंट करना है. So after step number 4, whatever the structure which you are having with us, that itself indicate the signal flow graph of a given block diagram. समझ में आ रहा है कि किस तरीके से ब्लॉक डायग्राम को सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ में कन्वर्ट करना है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want you to please draw this diagram. And inform me once you are done with this. हो गया आपका ड्रॉ करके?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this way, you can have the flexibility to convert block diagram of a given control system into corresponding equivalent signal flow graph. Now let us try to solve one more numerical for practice. And the statement is obtain the signal flow graph of a block diagram represented by the following figure. And the system is something like this. So a simple system, this indicate a general representation of your closed loop control system. So here R of S is your reference input signal, C of S is the control output signal, G of S is the forward path gain, H of S is the feedback path gain, this is the summing point, and this is nothing but the takeoff point. So now I want you all to directly draw the signal flow graph corresponding to this block diagram. Directly draw करने की कोशिश करो और देखो कि क्या होता है. Because ये steps तो मैंने आपको आपके understanding के लिए बताया है, but no need to apply those steps every time. For understanding it is good, but if you are comfortable enough, you can directly draw the signal flow graph of this system. So what we need to do, we need to identify the summing point, takeoff point, and input signals, or you can say output signal available in this block diagram. So here this R of S is your input excitation. Then here we are having one summing point. Here this indicate your takeoff point, and this is your control output. So if you draw the signal flow graph corresponding to this particular structure, we need to indicate minimum 4 nodes in that signal flow graph. First one is your R of S, second one is your S1. Let us consider that S1 is nothing but your summing point, and then T1 is nothing but your takeoff point, and this C of S is your last node corresponding to controlled output. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then in between them we need to draw a branch. So R1 of S and S1 के बीच में एक branch आएगा जिसका गेन exactly 1 रहेगा. उसके बाद S1, फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने समिंग पॉइंट को S1 से इंडिकेट किया, टेक ऑफ पॉइंट को T1 नोड से इंडिकेट किया. सो S1 और T1 के बीच में एक ब्रांच आएगा जिसका गेन रहेगा प्लस G ऑफ S. उसके बाद T1 और S1 के बीच में एक ब्रांच आएगा इन फीडबैक जिसका गेन रहेगा माइनस H ऑफ S. और फिर T1 और C ऑफ S के बीच में एक ब्रांच हमें ड्रॉ करना पड़ेगा जिसका डायरेक्शन रहेगा T1 से C ऑफ S के जितना, और उसका गेन रहेगा एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू 1. So if you apply those steps properly, you will get this as an output. Please check and verify whether you have drawn that signal flow graph like this only. ऐसा ही रहेगा?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Very good. So this is what the basic logic behind how to convert the block diagram into corresponding signal flow graph. The thing is that you need to identify number of summing point, takeoff point, intermediate outputs, then reference input and control output. Then we need to indicate each of them by a separate node. Then we need to replace the block corresponding to the branch. And finally, we need to indicate their gain as they mentioned in a given block diagram. I hope सभी का ये आंसर करेक्ट आया होगा.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just want you to try some more numerical on this. Take any example of signal flow, what we can say block diagram, or whatever the block diagram numericals which we have solved previously in our previous lecture. I just want you to please draw their corresponding signal flow graph and try करो और देखो कि आपको proper draw करते आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है? Now the next point is nothing but Mason's gain formula, and for that let us discuss some history behind signal flow graph. So the concept of signal flow graph was first of all proposed by I think C. Shannon. So Professor C. Shannon introduced the concept of signal flow graph, I think in the year 1942 or 43. He is an American mathematician, electrical engineer and a cryptographer, and he is also known as the father of information theory. So C. Shannon ने सबसे पहली बार signal flow graph का जो concept है, when he was dealing with the concept of studying the analogous computer technology, there he invented the concept of signal flow graph. That means, according to him, we can have the flexibility to represent a given system via this particular structure, which is nothing but signal flow graph. So C. Shannon ने सबसे पहली बार इसको इंट्रोड्यूस किया था, बट इसमें सबसे ज्यादा एडवांसमेंट तब आया जब इन्हीं के काम को प्रोफेसर आई थिंक C.J. Mason ने कंटिन्यू किया. So he is the professor at MIT, and I think in the year 1950 or 60 he continued the work of Professor C. Shannon of signal flow graph, and he derived some mathematical expressions to obtain the parametric function of a given control system if it is represented by signal flow graph. So if you see or Google search about Professor C.J. Mason, he is an American electronics engineer, and he gave a mathematical formula to determine the parametric function, which is nothing but the transfer function of a control system if its signal flow graph is known to us, and that mathematical expression is known as Mason's gain formula. समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना? तो ये थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री आपको पता होना चाहिए कि सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ किसने इन्वेंट किया, और फिर कौन वो प्रोफेसर्स थे जिन्होंने मेसन्स गेन फॉर्मूला या फिर जो एवोल्यूशन है सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ को उसको आगे कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया और उसमें फिर काम किया. तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा प्रोफेसर C.J. Mason, and to remember the work, or you can say work contribution of C.J. Mason's in the domain of signal flow graph, that's why we name that mathematical formula as Mason's gain formula. So let us try to understand what that formula is. So Mason's gain formula is used to determine the overall transfer function of a system if its signal flow graph is available with us. That means अगर किसी कंट्रोल सिस्टम का सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ आपके पास अवेलेबल है, and suppose if you are interested to obtain its overall transfer function, then in that case you need to apply Mason's gain formula. Now why we want to obtain transfer function? Because we know that by knowing the transfer function of a control system, we can have the flexibility to determine its open loop pole, then zeros, then we can have the flexibility to determine its characteristic equation. And in coming lectures, we are going to learn how to determine the stability of control system if transfer function is known with us. So if you have the knowledge of transfer function of a given control system, we can determine the detailed analysis of that particular system. So it is very much essential to determine the transfer function of a system if it is represented by a signal flow graph. And Professor Mason gave that formula, mathematical expression to calculate the overall transfer function of a system. So according to Mason's gain formula, the overall transfer function of a control system is given by. So this is what the formula is. This was the mathematical expression given by Professor C.J. Mason. So I want you to please write down this general expression of Mason's gain formula. And then we are going to learn in detail about each and every term which are mentioned in this mathematical expression. So write down Mason's gain formula. It is used to obtain the overall transfer function of a system if it is represented in the form of signal flow graph. It is used to obtain the overall transfer function of a system if it is represented in the form of a signal flow graph. Then in next line you need to write, according to Mason's gain formula, according to Mason's gain formula, the overall transfer function of a system is given by, and write down this mathematical expression. C of s upon R of s is nothing but summation I vary from 1 to capital N P suffix I into delta I whole divided by delta. Pi delta I divided by delta. So this was the formula given by Professor C.J. Mason, and to remember his contribution in the field of signal flow graph, that's why we call this formula as Mason's gain formula. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try to understand what are the different terms available in this mathematical expression. So in the above expression, this C of s is nothing but the controlled output of a system. So I want you to please write down step by step below that mathematical expression. So write down C of s indicate controlled output of a system. Then R of s indicate a reference input of a system. Then capital N, in that formula, if you see that expression very carefully, we indicate summation I vary from 1 to capital N. So that capital N indicate the total number of forward paths in a given signal flow graph. कितने number of forward paths है, उसके हिसाब से आपका जो formula है वो modify होगा based on that particular signal flow graph. For example, अगर एक numerical है जिसमें signal flow graph में आपने identify किया कि सिर्फ 2 ही forward paths available है, so वो case में आपका जो N है वो 2 रहेगा. Then in that case, if you are interested to remodify that formula, so it is like summation I vary from 1 to 2 Pi into delta I, या आप उसको ऐसा लिख सकते हैं P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 whole divided by delta. So for that you need to determine how many number of forward paths are there in a given signal flow graph. So capital N indicate the total number of forward paths. Then Pi, this Pi indicate the gain of ith forward path. As I told you that this I indicates simply the number of that forward path. So here Pi indicate the gain of ith forward path. In the same way, अगर मैंने यहाँ P1 लिखा तो P1 indicate करेगा gain of first forward path. In the same way, अगर मैंने इसको P2 लिखा तो P2 indicate करेगा gain of second forward path. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, तो in general Pi indicate the gain of ith forward path. That I may be anything. It may be 1, it may be 2, or it may be up to n. It depends upon कि कितने number of forward paths आपके given signal flow graph में available है. That is the reason I told you the first and the most important thing is you need to identify how many number of possible forward paths are there in a given signal flow graph, and that will be the first step in Mason's gain formula. अब समझ में आ रहा है कि मैंने क्यों बोला था आप लोगों को प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए? चलो ठीक है. Then write down delta. Delta indicate system determinant. So delta indicate the system determinant, and how to calculate this delta. So there is one specific formula to calculate this delta, and mathematically we can calculate delta like this. So write down the system determinant delta is given by, delta is nothing but 1 minus in bracket summation of all individual loop gain. That means हमें identify करना पड़ेगा कि हमारे given signal flow graph के अंदर कितने number of individual loops है, और उन सभी loop के gain को हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, add करना पड़ेगा. That will be the first parameter in this expression. 1 minus summation of all individual loop gain. Then next you need to take plus sign. So while writing the expression for delta, you need to be very much attention over here. See here, the signs are alternating in nature. That means in first here it is negative, then it is positive, then in next it is negative, and then it is positive. So ये alternate होते रहेंगे, starting from negative, positive, negative, and then again positive, and then negative, and then positive, and so on. So the expression for delta is 1 minus sum of all individual loop gain, then plus in bracket summation of gain products of all possible two non-touching loops. That means in given signal flow graph, we need to identify is there any pair of two non-touching loops are available. अगर है तो उन दोनों loop के gain का हमें product करना पड़ेगा. That will be one parameter of this expression. In the same way, we need to identify कि इसके अलावा और कोई दो pair of non-touching loop available है क्या. अगर है तो उन दोनों loop के gain का product लेना पड़ेगा. और अगर मान लो मेरे given signal flow graph में two pairs of two non-touching loop available है, तो उन दोनों के product के फिर मुझे addition करने पड़ेंगे. समझ में आ रहा है क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
So that will be the third term, or you can say second term, as far as loop gains are concerned, to determine the value of system determinant. Then here we need to take alternate signs. So plus के बाद आएगा आपका minus. Then the expression is sum of gain products of all possible three non-touching loops. तो अब तीन non-touching loop है क्या वो identify करो. अगर है तो उनके फिर loop gain का आपको product लेना. That will be the one parameter of this particular structure. And then अगेन आइडेंटिफाई की और भी थ्री पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप्स है क्या, फिर उनके लूप के प्रोडक्ट लो और फिर उनको ऐड करो. देन नेक्स्ट रहेगा आपका प्लस सम ऑफ गेन प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ ऑल पॉसिबल फोर नॉन टचिंग लूप, देन माइनस सम ऑफ गेन प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ ऑल पॉसिबल फाइव नॉन टचिंग लूप. और ये ऐसे ही सिलसिला चलते रहेगा. द फॉर्मूला कीप्स ऑन रिपीटिंग बाय इट्स ओन टिल यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई कि कितने नंबर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप्स पेयर आपके सिस्टम में अवेलेबल है. अगर मान लो आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि सिर्फ दो ही पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप अवेलेबल है, तो आपका फॉर्मूला यहीं तक रहेगा. ये जो वैल्यू रहेगी या फिर ये पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर की वैल्यू जीरो हो जाएगी. या फिर अगर आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया और आपने देखा कि इन गिवन सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ देयर विल बी नो पेयर ऑफ टू नॉन टचिंग लूप, देन इन दैट केस द फॉर्मूला इज ओनली दिस मच. दैट मीन डेल्टा इज इक्वल्स टू 1 माइनस सम ऑफ ऑल इंडिविजुअल लूप गेन. और अगर मान लो आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि आपके सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ में कोई भी इंडिविजुअल लूप है ही नहीं, लूप का फॉर्मेशन ही नहीं हो रहा, then in that case the value of delta is exactly equal to 1. समझ में आ रहा है क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
That is the reason I told you that you must be very much confident about how to identify the number of forward paths, how to determine the value of forward path gain. Then you must be very much confident to identify the number of loops, then loop gain, then identify the pair of non-touching loop, two non-touching loop, three non-touching loop. क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली वही आपको करना है और सबकी वैल्यूज प्रॉपर्ली इस मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन में पुट करना है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको जो गेन मिलेगा, दैट गेन इटसेल्फ इंडिकेट द ओवरऑल ट्रांसफर फंक्शन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम. So this is what the mathematical formula to calculate the value of system determinant delta. Now let us try to calculate the value of delta I. So if you see the expression of Mason's gain formula, here we can have pi delta I upon delta. So हमने n देख लिया, it is nothing but the number of forward paths. pi देखा, pi indicate the gain of ith forward path. Delta देखा, where delta is nothing but the system determinant, and the mathematical formula to calculate delta is known to us. Then how to calculate this delta I? Now remember one thing, in order to calculate the value of delta I and delta, we need to use the same formula. That means delta I को भी अगर आपको निकालना है तो आपको इसी मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन को यूज करना पड़ेगा. बट वाइल यूजिंग दिस एक्सप्रेशन, और इन दिस एक्सप्रेशन ये जो भी इंडिविजुअल लूप्स आप ले रहे हो या फिर लोगे, it may be individual loop gain, it may be a pair of 2 non-touching loop gain, और it may be a pair of 3 non-touching loop gain. तो आपने सिर्फ उन्हीं लूप को लेना है जो उस पर्टिकुलर फॉरवर्ड पाथ को टच नहीं करते. कहने का मतलब ऐसा है, in order to calculate the value of delta I, we need to take only those individual loop or only those pair of 2 non-touching loop or 3 non-touching loop where, or you can say those loop are not in physical contact with the ith forward path. See here, the value of delta I. So in order to calculate the value of delta I, we need to apply the same formula, but we have to take only those loops. It may be individual loop, it may be a pair of 2 non-touching loop, or it may be a pair of 3 non-touching loop in calculation which are not in physical contact or which are not in touch with ith forward path. For example, अगर मान लो मैंने डेल्टा 1 को कैलकुलेट करना है, तो डेल्टा 1 की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करते समय मुझे यही मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन लेना पड़ेगा, लेकिन मुझे डेल्टा 1 की कैलकुलेशन करते समय जो भी इंडिविजुअल लूप्स मैं लूंगा वो इंडिविजुअल लूप मेरे फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ के टच में नहीं होना चाहिए. या फिर मैं ऐसा बोल सकता हूं कि उस लूप में आने वाले जो भी नोड है वो मेरे फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ में नहीं आना चाहिए. अगर मान लो मेरा फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ जो है वो x1, x2 और x3 के बीच में बन रहा है, और मान लो मेरा जो इंडिविजुअल लूप है वो इन तीनों नोड में नहीं आ रहा, तो ही वो इंडिविजुअल लूप में डेल्टा 1 के कैलकुलेशन के लिए लेने वाला हूं. तो में आ रहा है क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना. इसका और अंडरस्टैंडिंग आपको आएगा when we will solve some numerical on this, but for time being let us consider that in order to calculate the value of delta I, we need to take only those loop which are not in touch with ith forward path. For example, if you are trying to calculate the value of delta 1, so we need to take only those loop which are not in physical contact with your first forward path. So first forward path आपने आइडेंटिफाई करना है, और वो फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ के टच में अगर कोई लूप नहीं आ रहा तो वो लूप आप डेल्टा 1 के कैलकुलेशन के लिए ले सकते हो. इट मे बी इंडिविजुअल लूप और इट मे बी अ पेयर ऑफ 2 नॉन टचिंग लूप और 3 नॉन टचिंग लूप. The thing is that we need to identify such type of loop which are not in physical contact with that corresponding forward path, जिसके लिए मैंने वो सिस्टम डिटर्मिनेंट कैलकुलेट करना है. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
ओके, सो आई होप कि आपने सभी कुछ लिख लिया है. The significance of Mason's gain formula, then what are the components available in it, C of S, R of S, N, Pi, delta and delta I. Now let us try to write down or formulate some steps in order to calculate the overall transfer function of a system using Mason's gain formula. For example, if you have a numerical like एक सिस्टम है जिसका सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ आपको दिया है और पूछा गया है कि उस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम का आपने ओवरऑल ट्रांसफर फंक्शन निकालना है using Mason's gain formula, then how you are going to proceed? So what are the steps which we need to follow in order to calculate the overall transfer function using Mason's gain formula? So step number 1 is identify the number of forward paths in given signal flow graph. This will be your first step. In first step, we need to identify how many number of forward paths are there. That means we need to calculate the value of capital N, because in our general expression of Mason's gain formula, we indicate capital N as number of forward path. So first step रहेगा आपका identify the number of forward paths in given signal flow graph. That means we need to calculate the value of N. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be any number. It depends upon कि वो जो given signal flow graph है उसमें कितने number of forward paths available है. So I want you to write down this step. Step number 1, identify the number of forward paths in given signal flow graph, that is capital N. Then step number 2. Step number 2 रहेगा calculations for forward path gain. That means once you have identified कि given signal flow graph में we are having total 1 or total 2 number of forward paths, then in step number 2 we need to calculate the forward path gain of individual forward path. For example, अगर आपके न्यूमेरिकल में 2 forward paths available है, for example n का value आपका 2 है, then in that case we need to calculate the gain of first forward path indicated by symbol P1, and we need to calculate the gain of second forward path indicated by symbol P2. So P1, P2, so on up to Pn indicate the gain of first, second up to nth forward path. This will be a step number 2. Step number 3 is identify the number of forward paths in given signal flow graph. That means once you have identified the given signal flow graph में we are having total 1 or total 2 number of forward paths available है, for example n का value आपका 2 है, then in that case we need to calculate the forward path gain of individual forward path indicated by symbol P1, and we need to calculate the gain of second forward path indicated by symbol P2. So P1, P2, so on up to Pn indicate the gain of first, second up to nth forward path. calculate the forward path gain of individual forward path. लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then step number 3, calculations for loop gains. That means we need to identify कि कितने number of loop gains available है. It may be individual loop, it may be a pair of 2 non-touching loop or 3 non-touching loop. So we need to identify कितने number of loops available है and हर एक loop का आपको gain calculate करना पड़ेगा. So in step number 3, we need to calculate the loop gains of all possible loops available in that signal flow graph. It may be an individual loop, or it may be a pair of 2 non-touching loop, or you can say 3 non-touching. So let us consider that if you identify in a given signal flow graph, we are having 2 individual loop. So let us consider that the gain of each loop is indicated by symbol L1, or you can say L. So L1 indicate the loop gain of first individual loop, L2 indicate the loop gain of second individual loop, and so on. So this will be your third step. Then step number 4, calculation for system determinant. So in this case, we need to calculate the value of system determinant. That means we need to calculate overall system determinant indicated by symbol delta, and we need to calculate the system determinant corresponding to each forward path. That means delta 1, delta 2, and so on up to delta n. So in step number 4, we need to calculate the system determinant based on the mathematical formula which we have discussed earlier. So you need to use that mathematical formula to calculate the value of system determinant or overall system determinant followed by the system determinant of respective forward path using that mathematical expression. So this will be your step number 4. And step number 5 will be the calculation for overall transfer function of a given system using Mason's gain formula. So ये फॉर्मूले में आपने सारे डिटेल्स जो आपने स्टेप नंबर 1 से स्टेप नंबर 4 में ऑब्टेन किया है, एक एक करके आपको इसमें रखना है, उसको सॉल्व करना है. सो जो फाइनल एक्सप्रेशन आएगा दैट इटसेल्फ इंडिकेट द ओवरऑल गेन, और यू कैन से द ओवरऑल ट्रांसफर फंक्शन ऑफ ए गिवन कंट्रोल सिस्टम. So these are the basic steps which we need to follow in order to obtain the overall transfer function of a control system whose signal flow graph is known to us. So in step number 1, we need to identify the number of forward paths. That means capital N kitne hai. Then in step number 2, we need to do the calculations for forward path gain like P1, P2, and so on. Then in step number 3, we need to do the calculations for loop gain L1, L2, and so on. Then in step number 4, we need to do the calculations for system determinant delta, delta 1, delta 2. And in step number 5, we need to obtain the overall transfer function using Mason's gain formula. लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try to solve one numerical on Mason's gain formula. So right now it's 12:12. So let's target to finish that numerical before 12:30 or up to 12:30. Write down numerical on Mason's gain formula. First numerical, and the statement is like this. Determine the overall transfer function of a system represented by the following signal flow graph using Mason's gain formula. So this was the statement. Determine the overall transfer function of a system represented by the following signal flow graph using Mason's gain formula. और सिस्टम कुछ इस तरीके से गिवन है. So this was the representation of a control system in the form of signal flow graph, and our objective is to obtain the overall transfer function of the system using Mason's gain formula. So I want you to please draw this structure, और पैरेलली मेरे साथ में ही आपने इसको सॉल्व करना है स्टेप बाय स्टेप. जैसे ही मैं स्टेप्स आपको एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ, पैरेलली आपने उसको नोट डाउन करते चले जाना है ताकि हम लोग गिवन फ्रेम ऑफ टाइम में ये न्यूमेरिकल को कंप्लीट कर सके. So if you observe this signal flow graph very carefully, here we are having total 6 nodes indicated by symbol Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5, and Y6. So this Y1 is your reference input node, and this y6 will be your control output node. So y6 by y1 will be your overall transfer function, and in between them this y2, y3, y4 and y5 indicate the chain node, or you can say intermediate node. This is your input node and this will be your output node. Why it is called as input node? Because it has only outgoing branch. Why it is called as output node? Because it has only incoming branch. Whereas if you see y2, y3, y4, y5, all these four are nothing but your intermediate branch, or you can say chain node, chain node or intermediate node. Why? Because they have incoming branch as well as outgoing branch. So if you see this y2, this is your incoming branch, this one will be your incoming branch, whereas this is the outgoing branch. In the same way y3 भी आपका एक chain node रहेगा या फिर intermediate node आप बोल सकते हो, because if you see this will be your incoming branch, this will be the incoming branch, whereas this branch and this branch are nothing but the outgoing branch. In the same way, if you apply the logic, you can identify कि कितने incoming branch है, कितने outgoing branch है और कितने आपके intermediate branch. Okay. Now in step number 1, what we need to do? क्या करना पड़ेगा? बताओ मुझे. Yes, please reply. What we need to do in step number 1?
Identify number of forward paths.
Exactly, we need to identify number of forward paths. चलो identify करो और मुझे बताओ how many number of forward paths are there in this signal flow graph. So how to define forward path? Started from your reference input signal or reference input node, ended at controlled output node, and the flow of signal is from input to output, and while traveling through that path, no node repeated twice. So if you have those type of path, you can name them as your forward path. So see here, if you move from y1 to y2 via this branch of gain A, then y2 to y3 via this branch of gain B. हम y2 से y3 is from y2 to y3. So y1 to y2 via branch of gain A, then y2 to y3 via branch of gain B, then y3 to y4 via branch of gain C, then y4 to y5 via branch gain D. y4 से y5 हम लोग ये branch से नहीं जा सकते, because if you see the flow of signal, it is from y5 to y4, but we want to move from input to output because we are tracing the forward path. That's why if you want to move from y4 to y5, you have only one path of branch gain exactly equal to D. And then from y5 to y6 via branch of gain exactly equal to E. So what will be the first forward path? Yes, please inform me. What will be the first forward path? Yes, please. किसी ने एक तो तुम्हें बताना है. मैंने अभी ऑलरेडी आपको हिंट दे दिया है. फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ क्या रहेगा? साक्षी,
y1 to y2 to y3 to y4 to
yes,
y5.
exactly. It is from y1 to y2, y2 to y3, y3 to y4, y5, y6. Exactly the straight line. So this straight line indicate your first forward path. In the same way, let us try to examine कि इसके अलावा भी और कोई forward path available है क्या? See here, y1 से y2, y2 से y3. अब y3 से हम लोग directly y5 पे जा सकते हैं, but from this particular branch of gain exactly equal to G. हम लोग ऐसे नहीं जा सकते. You cannot move from node y3 to y5 via this particular branch, because if you see the flow of signal through this branch, it is from y5 to y3, but we want to trace the forward path. That means we need to move from input to output. So y3 to y5 you need to move from this branch of gain exactly equal to G only. So y1 से y2 आया, y2 से y3 आया, फिर y3 से directly हम लोग y5 पे shift हुए via this branch of gain exactly equal to G, and then from y5 to y6 we need to follow this branch of gain exactly equal to E. So this will be your second forward path, like this: Y1, then Y2, then Y3, and then via this branch Y5, and then lead to Y6. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
So if you observe this signal flow graph very carefully, we came to know that we are having only two forward paths. इसके अलावा और कोई forward path है ही नहीं. आप देख लो अप्लाई करके, आपको कोई भी और forward path नहीं मिलेगा. So the value of n, capital N, for this numerical is nothing but capital 2, or you can say numerical 2. समझ में आया? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Now let us try to examine what will be the gain of first forward path. पहले forward path का gain क्या रहेगा? कौन बताएगा? Fast.
A, B, C, D, E.
Very good. And what will be the gain for second forward path?
A, B, G, E.
Exactly. The gain for second forward path is A, B, G, E. And the gain for first forward path is simply the product of gain of branches which are responsible for the formation of that forward path. So it is the multiplication of A, B, C, D and E. चलो ठीक है, तो हमने step 1 तो automatically complete कर लिया. So let us try to write them in proper manner. So write down. According to Mason's gain formula, फर्स्ट न्यूमेरिकल इसलिए मैं बहुत डिटेल में लिखवाऊंगा, नेक्स्ट न्यूमेरिकल में थोड़ा सा लिखना कम हो जाएगा और उसके बाद में एकदम कम हो जाएगा, और फिर उसके बाद मैं आपको सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट दूंगा और डायरेक्ट फाइनल आंसर पूछूंगा. सो फर्स्ट न्यूमेरिकल इसलिए हम बहुत ध्यान से कर रहे हैं. सो राइट डाउन ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप वन बाय वन. राइट डाउन. अकॉर्डिंग टू मेसन्स गेन फॉर्मूला, द ओवरऑल ट्रांसफर फंक्शन ऑफ एनी फिजिकल सिस्टम इज गिवन बाय. According to Mason's gain formula, the overall transfer function of any physical system is given by, write down this expression. This is the general expression for any physical system. According to Mason's gain formula, we can have the calculation of transfer function via this mathematical expression. C of S by R of S is nothing but summation I vary from 1 to capital N, Pi delta I divided by delta. Now write down step number 1. Now in step number 1, write down, in given signal flow graph, the number of total forward paths are 2. Just now we identify कि जो total number of forward paths है वो कितने हैं? 2 है. So the total number of forward paths are 2. That's why the value of capital N is nothing but 2. अब अगर कैपिटल N का वैल्यू आपने यहाँ 2 पुट किया, so what will be the actual formula to calculate the value of transfer function for this particular numerical? It is something like this. Hence the actual formula to calculate the overall transfer function of given system is like this. C of S by R of S is nothing but summation I vary from 1 to N, but यहाँ N का वैल्यू रहेगा आपका 2, Pi delta I divided by delta. So if you bifurcate this summation formula, we can write this C of S by R of S is nothing but P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 whole divided by delta. Let this will be your first equation, or equation number 1. So C of S by R of S is nothing but P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 whole divided by delta. Let that will be your first equation. लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now from this equation, it is very clear that if you want to calculate the overall transfer function, what we need to do? We need to calculate the value of each and every component available in equation number 1. हर एक component का value आपने find out करना है, उसको equation 1 में put करना है, तो आपको क्या मिल जाएगा? Overall transfer function मिल जाएगा. So now let us try to calculate P1, P2, delta 1, delta 2 and delta via various steps. That means step number 2, 3, 4, 5. Automatically you will get the final answer. Now write down step number 2, calculations for forward path gain. And for that, let us refer our actual figure. So you do not need to draw this diagram once again, because already आपने draw किया हुआ है, but ये मुझे दिखना चाहिए इसलिए मैं बार बार ये स्क्रीन पे ले रहा हूँ. अदरवाइज आपने दोबारा से फिगर ड्रॉ नहीं करना है. एक बार आपने ड्रॉ कर लिया, दैट्स इट. उसी को देख करके आपने फाइनल जो इंटरमीडिएट स्टेट्स का रिक्वायरमेंट है आपने फाइंड आउट करना है. सो स्टेप नंबर 2 रहेगा कैलकुलेशंस फॉर फॉरवर्ड पाथ गेन. सो जस्ट वी आइडेंटिफाई The number of forward paths are nothing but 2. And the first forward path is, write down. The first forward path is, it is formed in between y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. तो same मैंने यहाँ लिखा है. The first forward path is from y1 to y2 to y3 to y4 to y5 and ending with y6. And what will be the gain of that first forward path? So write down. The gain of first forward path is indicated by symbol P1, and it is nothing but the product of gain of branches which are responsible for the formation of that path. So if you see this forward path, so in this forward path we are having total 5 branches. In between y1 y2 will be first branch, then y2 y3 second, third, fourth and fifth. तो हर एक branch की gain को multiply करना है, that's it. So the first forward path gain is P1 and the value is A, B, C, D, E. Let this will be your equation number 2. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now why we indicate this as equation number 2? Because अगर आप equation 1 को याद रखोगे तो equation 1 में मुझे P1 चाहिए, तो इसको मैंने P1 को इंडिकेट किया है 2 से, तो फाइनली हमारे पास कुछ सेट ऑफ इक्वेशंस आएंगे, फिर उसको हम क्लब कर देंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो वैल्यूज आपने पुट करना है इक्वेशन 1 में, आपको ओवरऑल ट्रांसफर फंक्शन मिल जाएगा. नाउ सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ क्या रहेगा? See, y1 से y2, y2 से y3, then y3 से directly y5 via this branch, and then y5 से y6. So the second forward path is y1, y2, y3, y5, y6. And the gain of that path, or you can say the gain of second forward path, is indicated by symbol P2, and it is A, B, G, E. Same thing is written over here, A, B, G, E. Let this will be your equation number 3. So equation 1 indicate the actual formula to calculate overall transfer function. Then equation number 2 indicate the gain of first forward path. Equation number 3 indicate the gain of second forward path. So this will be your step number 2. So in step number 2 we need to calculate the gain of forward paths. तो हमने वो निकाल लिया. First forward path का gain P1 है, which is nothing but ABCDE. And second forward path का gain P2 है, which is nothing but ABGE. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now apply step number 3, calculations for loop gain. So for that again I am going to refer the same figure. आपने दोबारा से ड्रॉ करने की जरूरत है नहीं, बट मैंने यहाँ ड्रॉ किया है just to have the identification for how many number of loops are there in a given signal flow graph. Now let us try to identify कितने number of loops इस particular signal flow graph में available है. चलो बताओ तो मुझे कितने रहेंगे, आइडेंटिफाई करो कितने नंबर ऑफ लूप्स अवेलेबल है, और एक एक करके मुझे बताओ कि वो लूप किन किन नोड्स के बीच में फॉर्म हो रहे हैं. एग्जाम्पल, फर्स्ट लूप देखो दिखेगा आपको इन बिटवीन y2, y3 एंड देन कमिंग बैक टू y2. ये दिख रहा है लूप आपको?
Yes, sir.
दिस विल बी योर फर्स्ट लूप. सेकेंड लूप अगर आप देखोगे, सी हियर बिटवीन y3, or you can say starting from y3 then directly jump to y5 and then coming back to y3. तो ये जो आउटर लूप आपको दिखेगा, this one, y3 then y5 and then coming back to y3 via this particular path. दिख रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
This will be your second loop. Third loop देखो, see here, starting from node number 3, or you can say y3, y3 से y4, y4 से y5 and then coming back to y3. So this will be your third loop. ये दिख रहा है? Is it visible to you? y3, y4, y5 and then coming back to y3. So this will be a third loop. Now let us try to identify another loop. See, starting from node number 4, or you can say y4, y4 to y5 and then coming back to y4. So this will be your loop number 4. ये दिख रहा है? Is it visible to you? This loop?
Yes.
Very good. And this is your self loop, loop number 5. Starting with node number 5, coming back to node number 5 with this particular branch of gain exactly equal to f. So finally we conclude that how many number of individual loops are available in given signal flow graph? कितने number of individual loops है?
5.
5.
Exactly, we are having total 5 individual loops in this signal flow graph. इसके अलावा कोई है भी नहीं, आप ट्राई करके देखना, आपको पता चलेगा कोई लूप बनेगा नहीं. So write down in a given signal flow graph the total number of individual loops are 5. In given signal flow graph the total number of individual loops are 5. Now let us try to write down their corresponding node कि वो कौन कौन से node के बीच में loops form हुए हैं. So the loops are, first one is in between y2, y3 and y2. See y2, y3 and then coming back to y2. So this will be your first loop. Then second loop है आपका in between y3, y5 and then coming back to y3. y3, y5 and then coming back to y3. This will be your loop number 2. Then loop number 3 रहेगा आपका y3, y4, y5 and then coming back to y3. This will be your loop number 3. In the same way loop number 4 रहेगा y4 then y5 and then coming back to y4. This one. So this will be your loop number 4 and this last which is nothing but self loop will be your loop number 5. So ये loops किन nodes के बीच में बने हैं वो आपने यहाँ indicate किया है. And then let us try to write down their gain. Please indicate the loop gain. Loop gain for corresponding individual loops. So the gain for first loop indicated by symbol L1, it is simply the product of B and G. बरोबर है? ये रहेगा?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, if you see your second loop, so it is y3, y5 and then coming back to y3 via this particular branch gain. So it is the product of G and H. So GH indicate the loop gain for second loop. In the same way, third loop का रहेगा आपका CDH. Fourth loop का gain रहेगा आपका D into I, which is nothing but DI. And fifth loop का gain रहेगा only F because it is the example of your self loop. It is formed by only one node and one branch. So in this way, this will be your step number 3. We need to identify and calculate the gain of individual loops. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, out of these 5 individual loop, let us try to identify कि कितने pair of non-touching loops है क्या? इनमें से कोई loop non-touching है क्या? So what is the definition of non-touching loop? 2 loops are said to be non-touching or 3 loops are said to be non-touching if they do not have any common node in between them. So let us try to examine कि इन 5 loop में से कोई pair of non-touching loop बना रहा है क्या? Examine करो, मुझे बताओ तो कोई है क्या? Check and reply. See, if you see loop number 1 and loop number 2, loop number 1 and loop number 2, so they are having a common node y3 in between them. See, यहाँ y3 और यहाँ भी y3 आया, तो ये दोनों pair of non-touching loop हो नहीं सकते. In the same way, loop number 1 और loop number 3 का आप बात करोगे तो वो भी नहीं है because loop number 1 आपका ये है और loop number 3 आपका ये है. Again they are having a common node of y3. See, लूप नंबर 1 में y3 है, लूप नंबर 3 में भी आपके पास y3 आ रहा है, तो ये भी पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप नहीं है. बट इफ यू सी लूप नंबर 1 एंड लूप नंबर 4, लूप नंबर 1 जो है वो फॉर्म हुआ है y2, y3 एंड y2 के बीच में, जबकि लूप नंबर 4 फॉर्म हुआ है आपका y4 एंड y5 के बीच में. सी नंबर 1 y2, y3, y2, loop number 4 y4, y5, y4. So in between these two loops we do not have any common node. That means loop number 1 and loop number 4 forms a pair of two non-touching loop. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, let us try to examine loop number 1 and loop number 5. See, loop number 1 फॉर्म हुआ है y2, y3, y2 के बीच में, जबकि loop number 5 आपका फॉर्म हुआ है y5 पे. So in this two loop we don't have any common node. That's why loop number 1 and loop number 5 form a pair of another two non-touching loops. समझ में आ रहा है क्या कैसे मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किया? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
वेरी गुड। इन द सेम वे अगर आप और भी पेयरिंग देखोगे, फॉर एग्जांपल लूप नंबर 2 और लूप नंबर 3 देखो, लूप नंबर 2 आपका आउटर मोस्ट रिंग है, लूप नंबर 3 ये है, तो वो भी पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप फॉर्म नहीं कर रहा, बिकॉज इफ यू सी हियर y3 एंड y5 आर कॉमन। इन द सेम वे अगर आप लूप 3 लूप 4 को देखोगे, सो लूप नंबर 3 आपका CDG है, दैट मीन CA वाला लूप, और लूप नंबर 4 ये है, तो यहाँ पर आपका y4 y5 कॉमन में आ रहा है, यहाँ से भी दिखता है। सी यहाँ पर आपके पास में y4 y5 है, यहाँ भी y4 y5 कॉमन है, तो दे आर नॉट द पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप। इन द सेम में अगर आप y4 y5 को देखोगे तो यहाँ पर, या लूप नंबर 4 लूप नंबर 5 को देखोगे, तो हियर वी आर हैविंग नोड नंबर 5 इन कॉमन इन बिटवीन देम। सो ऑल पॉसिबल एस्पेक्ट्स आप देख लो, परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन का पॉसिबिलिटी इंप्लीमेंट करो, आपको फाइनली आउटपुट मिलेगा कि वी आर हैविंग ओनली 2 पेयर्स ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप्स अवेलेबल इन दिस figure. First one is a pair of L1 and L4. Second one is the pair of L1 followed by L5. समझ में आ रहा है क्या? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So write down step number 4, calculation of system determinant. So again, I have taken the figure for reference purpose, no need to draw the diagram. So in step number 4, what we need to do, we need to calculate system determinant. For that, we just came to know that we are having 2 pair of non-touching loops. अभी हमने just discuss किया है, एक है आपका L1 L4 और दूसरा है आपका L1 and L5. So write down, in a given signal flow graph, we are having 2 pairs of non-touching loops, and what are they? Write down them one by one. First non-touching loop pair is given by, write down this, y2 y3 y2. So this is your first loop, और उसके साथ में दूसरा क्या रहेगा आपका y4 y5 y4. This will be your fourth loop. So this is your first loop, this is your fourth loop. So next line में write down gain product of first non-touching loop pair. Gain product of first non-touching loop pair. It is simply L1 multiplied by L4. समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या कर रहा हूं यहां पे?
Yes, sir.
So why we have written like this? Because we want this particular term in order to calculate the value of system. But in the second expression, we want plus in bracket sum of product gain of 2 non-touching loops. तो उसमें से हमने एक पेयर का प्रोडक्ट जो है वो यहाँ फाइंड आउट करके लिख लिया है. So L1 into L4 indicate the product of first pair of 2 non-touching loop. So it is simply the product of gain of L1 loop and L4 loop. So L1 loop का अगर आप gain देखोगे, it is nothing but DJ, और L4 loop का अगर आप gain देखोगे, it is nothing but DI. So simply I need to multiply BJ and DI. So BJ DI indicate the product of gain of first 2 non-touching pair of loop. In the same way, if you try for second non-touching loop, so second non-touching loop का pair कौन सा है? It is in between L1 and L5. So L1 रहेगा आपका Y2 Y3 Y2 and L5 रहेगा आपका in between Y5. In the same way, if you write the gain of product of second non-touching loop pair, so it is simply the product of L1 and L5. So L1 रहेगा आपका BJ, L5 रहेगा आपका F. So BJF indicate the product of gain of second non-touching loop pair. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
लिख लिया आप लोगों ने ये?
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड. अब हमारे पास में सारी इंफॉर्मेशन आ चुकी है. इसके अलावा पेयर ऑफ 3 नॉन टचिंग लूप अवेलेबल है नहीं, तो वो सारे पैरामीटर्स ऑटोमेटिकली क्या हो जाएंगे? 0 हो जाएंगे. So if you use this particular components, and if you put these value in the expression of calculating the system determinant, we can write like this. Now see here, again I have mentioned a statement over here. In a given signal flow graph, a pair of 3 non-touching loops are 0. क्योंकि है ही नहीं, सिर्फ 2 ही पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप अवेलेबल है. यहाँ 3 पेयर है या फिर 5 पेयर है, बट उनमें से कोई भी 3 पेयर एक में से कॉमन नोड को फॉर्म नहीं कर रहा है. किसी ना किसी व्हाट वी कैन से पेयर ऑफ लूप में एक कॉमन नोड आ ही रहा है. सिर्फ 2 ही ऐसे पेयर है हमारे पास में, वी आर हैविंग ओनली 2 what we can say pair of 2 non-touching loop, that is in between L1 L4, and second one is in between L1 and L5. इसके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं. So pair of 3 non-touching loops are nothing but 0. So write down. Now according to Mason's gain formula, system determinant is given by this one. Delta is nothing but 1 minus summation of all individual loop gain, then plus sum of gain product of all possible 2 non-touching loop pair, then minus sum of gain product of all possible 3 non-touching loop, and so on. But अभी हमने just conclude किया है कि 3 non-touching loop के पेयर है ही नहीं, तो ये पूरा का पूरा टर्म आपका क्या हो जाएगा, 0 हो जाएगा. So for this particular numerical, the expression to calculate delta is 1 minus summation of all individual loop gain plus summation of gain product of all possible 2 non-touching loops. यहीं तक आपका फॉर्मूला रहेगा. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we need to do, we need to substitute the values of loop gain, individual loop gain in this bracket, then product gain of pair of 2 non-touching loop in this particular bracket. So the formula is something like this. So the delta is nothing but 1 minus sum of all individual loop gain. So here L1 is nothing but your first gain of first loop. So it is nothing but Bj. Then this indicate your L2, L3, L4, and this is nothing but L5. तो सभी जो individual loop है उनके gain को आपने add कर लिया. This is what the meaning of sum of all individual loop gain. So L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. Then plus, so this plus is from formula. In bracket, sum of gain product of all possible 2 non-touching loop. तो already हम लोगों ने calculations करके रखा हुआ है. It is simply L1 into L4 plus L1 into L5. तो अगर आपने वहां कैलकुलेशन नहीं किया तो आप यहां भी डायरेक्टली कर सकते हैं. इट्स टोटली डिपेंड्स अपॉन यू, बट अल्टीमेटली यू नीड टू टेक द सम ऑफ गेन प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ ऑल पॉसिबल 2 नॉन टचिंग. तो दिस इंडिकेट L1 into L4 and this indicate L1 into L5. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So if you modify, you will get this. The thing is that बाकी सारे टर्म 0 हो जाएंगे. So delta is nothing but 1 minus Bj plus Gj plus Cdh plus Di plus F in bracket, then plus again in bracket you need to write this Bj Di plus Bjf. Let this will be your equation number 4. So equation number 4 indicate the mathematical expression of overall system determinant, and this is the technique to calculate the value of system determinant. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
This is very important step of Mason's gain formula, because forward path निकालना easy है, gain निकालना easy है, individual loop identify करना easy है, उसकी gain लिखना easy है, but Mason's gain formula के अंदर में जो important concept है वो ये है calculation of system determinant. इसमें हमने अभी delta calculate कर लिया. Now what will be our objective? अभी हमारे पास क्या है? P1 है, P2 है, delta है. अब बचा क्या? delta 1 and delta 2. So what we need to do? We need to calculate the value of delta 1, delta 2, or you can say system determinant corresponding to first forward path, corresponding to second forward path. And if you got the value of delta 1, delta 2, you need to put the value of P1, delta 1, P2, delta 2, and delta in equation number 1 and solve them. You will get final answer, which is nothing but overall transfer function. Now let us try to calculate system determinant delta 1 corresponding to first forward path. Now if you see this figure very carefully, what will be your first forward path? First forward path को अगर आप देखोगे, हमारा first forward path जो हमने indicate किया है वो straight line है. This, are you remembering? See, first forward path आपका कौन सा है? y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. तो straight horizontal line indicate your first forward path. अब delta 1 को निकालते समय मैंने आपको क्या बताया? We need to use the same formula to calculate the value of delta 1. for which we have implemented for the calculation of delta. But the thing is that while calculating the value of delta 1, we need to take only those loops which are not in physical contact with that particular forward path. That means अगर आप delta 1 की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो तो डेल्टा 1 की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करते समय आपने सिर्फ वही लूप को लेना है जो आपके फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ को किसी भी तरीके से टच नहीं करते. मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूं. In order to calculate the value of delta 1, you need to take only those individual loops in calculation which are not in touch with first forward path. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. अब आइडेंटिफाई करो कि 5 जो लूप आपके पास में थे उनमें से ऐसा कौन सा लूप है जो फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ को कहीं भी टच नहीं कर रहा. ऐसा कोई लूप है क्या?
No loop.
Exactly, there is no loop which is not in physical contact with your first forward path. अब क्योंकि कोई लूप है नहीं तो बट ऑब्वियस है डेल्टा 1 की कैलकुलेशन करते समय जो बाकी सारे एक्सप्रेशंस है, दैट मींस द सम ऑफ इंडिविजुअल लूप, देन प्लस द प्रोडक्ट गेन ऑफ टू व्हाट वी कैन से पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप, वो सारे के सारे क्या हो जाएंगे? जीरो हो जाएंगे. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why I have written here. Now there is no loop which is not in touch with first and second forward path. अच्छा, second forward path के लिए भी लिख लिया है, ठीक है, वो भी एग्जामिन कर लेंगे. But first forward path के लिए तो गारंटी है कि नहीं है. In the same way, if you apply the logic for second forward path, because we need to calculate the value of delta 2 also. So delta 2 के लिए भी same formula implement करना है. बट उसके लिए सबसे पहले मुझे ये आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा कि क्या ऐसे कोई लूप है मेरे सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ में जो कि मेरे सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पार्ट को टच नहीं कर रहे. अब सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ कौन सा है आपका? सी हियर, y1 से y2, y2 से y3 एंड देन y3 से y5 एंड देन y5 से y6. मतलब ये आपका सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ. समझ में आ रहा है क्या? दिस विल बी योर सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ लाइक दिस. और अब अगर आप आइडेंटिफाई करोगे, लेट्स चेक एंड इन्फॉर्म मी, is there any loop? It may be individual loop or it may be a pair of 2 or 3 non-touching loop which is not in touch with second forward path. कोई लूप है क्या? देखो तो कोई ऐसा लूप जो सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ को भी टच नहीं कर रहा, किसी भी नोड पे टच नहीं होना चाहिए. एक भी नोड अगर कॉमन आ गया तो हम उसको काउंट नहीं करेंगे. सी हियर, सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ को अगर आप देखोगे तो फर्स्ट लूप तो डायरेक्टली टच में है y2 y3 पे. उसके बाद में लूप नंबर 2 भी टच में है y3 y5 में. लूप नंबर 3 भी टच में है y3 और y5 में. सिर्फ y4 पे टच नहीं करता लेकिन y3 पे टच हो रहा है और y5 पे भी टच हो रहा है. लूप नंबर 4 की बात करोगे आप तो वो y5 पे टच कर रहा है आपके सेकंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ को, और लूप नंबर 6 तो y5 पे ही बना है. इसका मतलब कंक्लूजन क्या है? व्हाट विल बी द कंक्लूजन? यस, प्लीज रिप्लाई.
No loop is there.
Exactly. The final conclusion is there is no single loop which is in touch with forward path. It may be a first forward path or it may be a second forward path. So finally, if you apply this logic and if you try to calculate the value of delta 1 and delta 2, you will get the value of delta 1 as 1. In the same way, you will get the value of delta 2 as 1. समझ में आया मैंने कैसे कैलकुलेट किया delta 1 delta 2 का वैल्यू?
Yes, sir.
बहुत सिंपल है. The thing is that we need to take only those individual loop gain, or it may be a pair of 2 non-touching or 3 non-touching loop. Those are not in physical contact with that particular forward path. अगर आप डेल्टा 1 का कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हो तो जो भी आपने फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड पाथ डिफाइन किया है उस फॉरवर्ड पाथ के रिस्पेक्ट में आपका कोई भी लूप टच में नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर नहीं है तो वही लूप आपने यहाँ पर कैलकुलेशन में लेना है. In the same way, if you are trying to calculate the value of delta 2, then in that case we need to take only those individual loop or a pair of 2 non-touching loop which are not in contact with your second forward path. That's it. So if you apply that logic, the value of this term will get automatically 0 for the calculation of delta 1 and delta 2. That's why the value of delta 1 is 1 and the value of delta 2 is 1. Let this will be your equation number 5 and equation number 6. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now what we need to do? Apply step number 5, calculation of overall transfer function. So write down from equation 1 to equation number 5. overall transfer function of system is given by, this is nothing but your equation number 1, C of S by R of S is nothing but P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 upon delta. अब हमें क्या करना है, जो भी हमने इंटरमीडिएट स्टेजेस में P1 P2 डेल्टा 1 डेल्टा 2 और डेल्टा का वैल्यू निकाला था, आपने वो सारे वैल्यूज इस पर्टिकुलर एक्सप्रेशन में पुट करना है. That is the reason we need to indicate them by separate equation. So equation 1 indicate your this expression. I think equation number 2 indicate the value of P1. Equation number 3 indicate the value of P2. Then equation number 3 indicate, I think, the value of delta. Equation number, I think, 4 and 5 indicate the value of delta 1 and delta 2, I think. So if you merge equation number 1 to equation number 5, you will get this. So C of S by R of S is nothing but P1. So the P1 indicate your first forward path and the value is A, B, C, D, E. Multiplied by delta 1, the value is 1. Then plus P2 into delta 2. So P2 is nothing but the gain of second forward path, which is nothing but A, B, G, E, multiplied by delta 2, which is nothing but 1, whole divided by delta. So this denominator polynomial function indicate the expression for delta, which we indicated by, I think, equation number 4. So if you solve this, you will get this. So this is your final answer. So C of S by R of S, or you can say Y6 by Y1, because here C of S is nothing but the node corresponding to your final output, and R of S is the node corresponding to the reference input. I think Y6 by Y1. So it is simply this ABCDE plus ABGE whole divided by 1 minus BJ plus GH plus CDH plus DI plus F in bracket, plus in bracket you can write this BJDI plus BJF. So this is a numerical on Mason's gain formula, how to apply Mason's gain formula to determine the overall transfer function of a given control system. I hope सभी को प्रोसेस समझ में आया है.
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड. सो फर्स्ट टाइम है, इट माइट बी पॉसिबल कि आपको थोड़ा सा डाइजेस्ट करने में तकलीफ हो, बट आई गारंटी इफ यू प्रैक्टिस इट इज मच सिंपल एज कंपेयर टू योर ब्लॉक डायग्राम रिडक्शन टेक्निक. बहुत बार ऐसा देखा गया है कि अगर आपको सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ में महसूस होता है तो आप लोग ब्लॉक डायग्राम रिडक्शन टेक्निक कंप्लीटली इग्नोर करते हैं. बट आई वांट यू टू बी have a comfortability in both the techniques, like BDRT भी आपको अच्छे से आना चाहिए और सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ भी अच्छे से आना चाहिए, because सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ काफी इजी है. फर्स्ट टाइम आपने सॉल्व किया तो might be possible कि it will be looks like a difficult one, but if you practice more on signal flow graph or how to apply Mason's gain formula, I guarantee you this is one of the most easiest way to obtain the transfer function of a given control system if signal flow graph is known to us. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now write down. Yes, write down one homework for you. Write down this. Determine the overall transfer function of a system represented by following signal flow graph using Mason's gain formula. So this numerical is homework. I want you to please try this numerical at your home, and we will discuss the answer of this particular question in the next lecture. So the statement is determine the overall transfer function of a system represented by following signal flow graph using Mason's gain formula. And the structure is something like this. So here R of S is nothing but your reference input node. C of S is the controlled output indicated by node number 6. So here we are having total 6 node, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, G1, G2, G3, G4, then G5, G6, G7, G8 and G9 are indicated the gain of respective branches. Some of them are forward path, some of them are feedback path, some of them are parallel path. So draw this diagram and try this numerical at your home. So your objective is to obtain the overall transfer function of this particular system using Mason's gain formula. So the thing is that you need to apply those steps one by one. Step number 1, identify number of forward path. Step number 2, calculation of forward path gain. Step number 3, calculation for loop gain. Step number 4, calculation for system determinant, followed by delta 1, delta 2. And step number 5 is calculation for overall transfer function. And please inform me once you are done with this. So this is one of the most important lecture as far as unit number 2, that too from signal flow graph point is concerned, because in this lecture we discuss the concept of Mason's gain formula and how to apply that formula to calculate the overall gain of a given system. I hope you have done with this. Draw कर लिया आपने ये?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि आज जो भी पढ़ा है घर पे जाके एक बार ध्यान से रिवाइज कर लेना है. आप घर पे ही हो, आपने रिवाइज करना है. And in the next lecture we are going to start our lecture from this point. That means first of all we need to solve this numerical, and then we will solve some more numerical on signal flow graph. That means the application of Mason's gain formula.